yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The world's just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect? The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Dr. Malcolm, I have Sheffield campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Hello, welcome to the October issue of Jurassic Minutes, where we discuss the recent movie, toy and franchise news for the Jurassic series. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And this month we have a special guest, well actually our only guest, really. Jay Jurassic is back to discuss some news this time, not the minutes themselves.
Sorry, you said that, I'm like, oh, sorry. I ruined your intro. But hello guys, how you guys doing?
Very good, very good. We thought we may as well have you on here for a bit of a chat about some of the news that's happened this month. So sure. we're free and good to go ahead with all sorts of tangents. On this episode, we're going to be talking mainly about the delay that's happened with Dominion and Camp Cretaceous trail that's come out. There's been plenty of set leaks and photos from behind the scenes there, but we're not really going to talk about them today. You can find them online and go to your heart's content and get spoiled on the film. But before we get to all that, recent toy and prop purchases, Dave, what's come in your mailbox this month?
It's not actually come yet, but I finally tracked it down a couple of months ago, or a lot earlier in this year, before all this COVID business started happening. Somebody on the Jurassic Park Toys Facebook group posted a couple of mini The Lost World plush toys that I didn't even know existed. Apparently they were like miniaturized versions that Equity Toys put out of the regular plushes, and one of them was a Mamenchisaurus, and I had no idea that this was even produced. I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. She, I think, sold it for like $6. It was like,
oh wow,
really, it was really cheap. I don't think she knew what she had on her hands, because I've been ever since trying to track this down on eBay for a actual, like, less than $100. And it seems that these things were really rare, because I think they were only released in Great Britain or something like that, and saw a limited release in the United States. But anyway, yeah, I finally tracked one down, and so thankfully not too much hurt on the wallet. It was actually under $25, so I've got that coming my way next week.
Nice little addition to the collection.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. It's pretty cool. I never heard of those either.
Yeah, they were put out by Equity Toys, and I mean, some of them are like really, really funky. Like the T-Rex is basically the head. I mean, the head sculpt isn't really much of a sculpt. It's like two eye beads on a Pac-Man head.
Oh man!
And is in a way almost kind of monstrous. And it's like, okay, I've seen that, and I never want to see it again. But the Mamenchi is actually really well done. It actually looks like the Mamenchisaurus with the head and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't know what happened between Jurassic Park and Lost World, because I've got a few of the Jurassic Park ones, and for the most part, they're pretty good looking and that sort of stuff, the Dilophosaur and the Raptor. But then, yeah, went to the Lost World, and yeah, some of the designs are a bit different. Or a bit cheaper, I should say.
Change in creator. Dakin, I believe, created the plush toys for the first movie's toy line, whereas Equity Toys created the plush toys for the second. And their main line, their larger ones, are kind of hit and miss. The T-Rex is like pretty cartoony. I still have it though, and I still love it. Their Stegosaurus is actually really pretty spot on. I have that one too, and I love it. And their Raptor is also, it's not as bad as the T-Rex, but it's not as good as the Stegosaurus, but I still love it. And I have it.
Nice.
The only one I don't have is the Pachycephalosaurus, which is like the Stegosaurus, and where it was actually really well done.
Is it like really hard to find? It's a rare one?
Not necessarily. It's on eBay pretty often. I can't speak for prices because I usually don't look for it that much, but I have seen it browsing because I've been looking for this thing. I've been looking for this plush toy for like a year, so I had eBay alerts emailing me every time somebody posted up for sale the Lost World plush toys.
Oh, okay. I gotta start doing that with alerts. I never do that, and so like I miss out. I think on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Usually I don't do that, but this was something that was.
You really wanted.
Yeah, not only that, but the search terms were kind of. I wasn't going to get a bunch of crap, I wasn't going to get a bunch of random weird stuff. I was going to get the Lost World plush toys because it was one of those searches where it's narrow enough to where you actually get what you're looking for, but also broad enough so that you get a multiple variety of search results.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like putting in the Lost World VHS tape and then having suggestions. Oh, you might like this Spider-Man web shooter toy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know which one you get a lot too? Like you put like Jurassic Park memorabilia or like Jurassic Park like merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And you always get those like those NASCAR like Jurassic Park thing. Like it's a whole like page of just that. I'm like, I don't want that. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I want like other stuff, and it'll just be page after page after page of NASCAR Jurassic stuff.
Or it'll be among those. It'll be the license plates and the prop brochure. Those are like the two things that are always top of the list when you search memorabilia.
Or the DVDs.
Sometimes you'll get a little gem in there, but usually it's license plate, NASCAR, and prop brochure.
Or what's I don't know if you guys have seen when you guys are searching through eBay. You ever seen that one like listing that's this guy making dinosaurs out of paper?
Yes, I have.
You've seen that? And he's selling them for like $60, $50. I'm like, what? And it's like Chaos Effect Thrasher T-Rex, and it's just a paper like cutout, like scribbled crayons or something. I'm like, what?
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about origami. Because I've seen that.
That one too. That's what I'm talking about. I guess I'm talking about that one there.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little. It's like an origami kind of like, but it's like the coloring on it's like crayons, right?
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing that, but I'm like, I don't know if it's a little kid, so I don't want to say anything. Like, be like crush their dream, be like that thing is not. What are you doing? But or maybe it's somebody that's just like really trying to, or maybe it's a joke. I don't know, man. But like. I see it pop up all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not betting on that.
On the plus side, he's making more than what he would at a lemonade stand, but...
That's true.
As I say, art is finding your niche at the corner of what you're good at and what makes you happy. Like, I can't draw. Drawing makes me happy, but I can't draw at all. So I do photography because I'm good at photography and it makes me happy, and that's why I do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that could be a good little tangent here into what I got. A couple of months ago, someone released a book on Amazon, Jurassic Park Dead Islands, not Universal approved at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the Jurassic Park, the InGen logos all over it, and for the most part, that's where the sort of IP infringement stops, because Hammond's sort of named once or twice in there, and InGen's named a few times, but apart from that, and of course Sauna and the Five Deaths. Nothing in this novel is Jurassic at all. I didn't finish reading it. So I'm not going to do my book report now. But it's just amazing. It's still up on Kindle, on Amazon Kindle now for $16 US. Well, the physical copy was $30. To get this book that someone wrote, this fan fiction essentially, and it's not really that good. Again, we discussed a couple of weeks ago about fan fiction and how we sort of know if your own fan fiction's good or bad and judging others, but it's just weird. It's set in 1984, which, if we look at the official movie sort of canon timeline, InGen's only really at the point of starting construction on Jurassic Park San Diego at the time. They haven't even cloned their first animal yet. So
I have seen this for sale on Amazon, and I've been wondering, because I mean the cover is straight. It's got, like you said, all the Jurassic Park iconography on there. It's got the logo and the slash marks and stuff. I've been wondering, how are they getting away with this?
Yeah.
But if you say that, like, it's got, like, inside it's tangentially related, I could see how they could kind of get away with selling it like that, you know?
Yeah, well, it's mostly takes place on Site C, which is Mamenchisaurus, which isn't really in the films at all, or the novels, so that's sort of not really an issue there.
It's weird because, like, you guys know I do a lot of, like, fan art, right? And I have it on Redbubble and stuff like that, and these sites. Well, since I guess, like, Jurassic Park is, like, that's Universal's, like, cash cow now, you know?
Uh-huh.
They've gotten really strict at that. And, like, Disney was that way, where I remember I posted a drawing I did of, like, Darth Vader's face in, like, the Punisher form, the Punisher skull, but it was Darth Vader instead.
Mm-hmm.
I posted it up, and it was taken down within a half hour by Disney.
Oh.
It was crazy. They are so strict on it. And I guess Universal is getting on that because Universal has struck down, like, almost all of my stuff of a Redbubble. And then, like, I have two that are being in question right now by Universal. It's been taking, like, months. And I'm like, okay, when are you guys going to get back to me if I can, like, Christmas season's coming. I'm trying to sell this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but I generally don't put too much, like, there's maybe a few that I can actually say that have, like, Jurassic Park iconography on it, but, like, it's a lot of it, it's, like, a fine line when you're doing, like, fan art and, like, I guess, like, fan fiction or something. Most of my work is, like, most of the work I do is, like, the characters, the dinosaurs and stuff like that, but it's my interpretations. I kind of draw them in a different style, or I do, like, these, like, really, like, artistic backgrounds with them and stuff. I don't really take, like, an absolute image from the movie and just paste it on there, you know, and just change the color, you know?
Yeah.
I draw these by hand, so it's, like, it's different. But, like, that book, like, the front cover, when I saw that, I didn't know the inside is it's a bit different, but the front cover, I was like, whoa, how are they selling that on Amazon? I was like, oh, wow.
I know, right? Yeah, it was the same way.
Yeah, and it has got there's several photos, or not photos, but artist drawings in the back of the characters of some of the animals, so the Baryonyx, the Suchomimus, and the raptors, and that sort of. That is clearly not in the Jurassic style, although there is one image there that's clearly the one of the Unimogs from the Lost World that they've drawn and had a Suchomimus attack it.
I've heard the artwork on there is incredible, though.
I'll take some photos and send to you.
Yeah, I've heard it's very nice. Like, whoever, like, was behind it did a really good job. But that's all I heard from it.
Yeah, well, I don't. That was the thing. A couple of months ago, I know Outpost talked a bit about it.
Yeah, so did the podcast. Aaron talked about it a bit. But
Yeah. So I thought now there's a lot more of the community knowing about it. I know there's some people in the community that do have connections with Universal. I thought someone would have either dobbed them in or at least let Universal know that this was going on and would have disappeared from Amazon. But the Kindle version's still there. The paperback version isn't, but I'm guessing that's just because it's sold out. I can only imagine it'd be a limited run of physical copies.
Who knows? Who knows if Universal's kind of like, let them have their fun. Like,
Well, I know that
Well.
Universal can be both very accepting of fan projects, but they can also be very crackdown on it. I think it's kind of dependent on how popular the IP is at any given time. For example, I can't remember what it's called. It's a new miniatures game for Jurassic Park that has been completely fan made, and they had just submitted to Universal a licensing approval request.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Universal has been very open with that kind of thing in the past, but at the same time, there have been times where I've posted a GIF or a GIF on Facebook, and it's gotten flagged automatically as copyright infringement. And like you said with Disney, they've been the same way. Some IPs get free reign. Some, like Star Wars, if they're very popular, get takedowns right away. I tried to do a montage with with the song Ballroom Blitz to the Last Jedi scene where Kylo and Rey are fighting the Red Guard, and it was just a short 2-minute clip, and it kind of I just kind of set it all up on audio. I'm sorry, Audacity, and it was very cheaply made. I didn't really spend any much time on that. I was one of those things you do when you're procrastinating a final project kind of things.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And so I whipped this up in 20 minutes, and somehow it just worked out so that the music ended up being very matching. It synchronized itself to the images on the screen. I uploaded it to YouTube, flat out denied. I uploaded a Vimeo, it gets taken down I think 2 hours later. It was just one of those things where they were serious about it. They did not want anybody uploading anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jay, you might know. A couple of years ago, I think Marvel come out and said it was okay for artists at Comic Cons and that sort of thing to sell their art, or do art. I think it was Marvel anyway, but because that's a whole different kettle of fish too. Like people doing paintings, pictures, all sorts of art, and selling at conventions.
Yeah, that's and it's. I feel like at the conventions they let it slide, but if you're doing it on other websites, but it's weird, man. It's strange because how can you express this love for these characters if you can't really draw them or paint them or anything when there's an intellectual property that belongs to the company, but you want to express yourself and want to draw these characters, you know what I mean? But I feel it's more of I guess it's just me being biased or whatever. It's just how I feel about it. I feel you draw. What's up?
Me of that. Have you seen that comic where it's how to draw Mickey Mouse?
No.
You start with a big circle, 2 small circles. Draw a triangle for the nose. Receive a cease and desist order from Disney. How to draw a cat. Start with
yeah, basically, because you know what it is. It's I feel that if you draw these characters or paint them or whatever it is by scratch, it's all you're creating the image, but you're actually creating the image rather than photoshopping it or just taking a photo, kind of like the Obama Hope photo, that was yes, the image itself, all the stuff, it was all vectored but the image itself is exactly like that photo, but not, because in a way the whole image was created from scratch when they did that photo. So I feel yeah, I get it. I think the photographer won that one or whatever, but I feel I forget the guy's name, whatever his name is, the artist. He pretty much ended up doing all these little pieces of art into that photo, you know, little bits and pieces, and like he created all that himself. And I feel like if you take like let's say if I draw Chris Pratt, right? I draw one of his photos of Owen. My drawing looks just like the photo, right? Thing is, I drew that thing. I drew it from scratch. Even though it's that photo that they took, that Universal took of him, that has him in like one of the scrapbooks or whatever, I drew that. Now, if I took that photo exactly as it is and then just recolorized it, or like, I don't know, added Chris Pratt or something on it, right? And it's just a photo, and then I sell it. That's different. You mean you didn't really do anything. You just added something to it. Now, if you're creating from scratch something, that's where I feel that like the artist should get the credit. Because if you're like, I've seen a lot of artists. I have a lot of artist friends on Instagram, and they're drawing images of like these wonderful characters, but they're creating their own versions or from scratch all these images, but in the end it looks like the character, it looks like the actor, you know. But they spend all those hours actually trying to create this thing.
That reminds me that there was a t-shirt company, and I got into like an argument with a lot of people about this. It was a t-shirt company. I'm not sure if anybody here is familiar with T-Pex. He was an artist who did a lot of art for Jurassic Park Legacy back in the like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
and it was mostly
I know that name. Yeah, nothing about it. I know that name.
Yeah, and so one of the things that he drew was the novel raptor. It was I think the caged raptors with the red, and it was kind of a side profile image. And so it's one of those art pieces that have been stolen countless times. It ends up on memes, it ends up on t-shirts, it ends up on everything. Well, in this case, it ended up on a t-shirt, and it was officially licensed. Let's just see if I can find it here, bring it up. Well, anyway, it was a t-shirt made by Iconic. It's Iconick. And it uses the raptor art. It's not a perfect trace. The arms and the feet are a little bit different, and the position of the head are a little bit different. But I noticed it right away. And it was, I even superimposed the image against each other, and you can see that it's like 90% match. And people are getting up my ass about this, about how it's just, oh, it's okay. Oh, yeah, everybody draws the raptors like that. I'm like, no, this is purely a trace. You can clearly see this is a trace with some slight modifications.
Well, you see that with a lot of like, if you notice, a lot of the art that's going around with Universal's dinosaurs for Jurassic World, it's clearly stolen from paleo artists. Like, their concept artists are like, you know what I mean? This is a bold claim, and I don't care who comes at me with it, but I see like concept art that looks like these dinosaurs that paleo artists are drawing and not getting credit for. And there's a lot of like, because a lot of the things with the Jurassic community that we've done for years, we created our own merch. We created our own things that Universal never produced, because Universal was so slow to produce anything or not even care about the property to the level it should have been properly cared for, that artists like myself started making things. We're like, well, like when we had Hasbro not create an Owen, you know how many people start customizing? I customized an Owen at the Kenner level, the size of a Kenner figure. I took one of the Congo figures, and I like switched the legs off a Nick Van Owen and put it on that one. You know what I mean? So like right now there's people making Explorer cars because Mattel's not producing one. There's guys already 3D printing some, and I will give my money to them if Mattel doesn't do it, because like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? If you're not gonna do it, then I will do it myself, or I'll have somebody else do it. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing about the Jurassic community. We are full of creatives, so we're always creating these things. And Universal sits back with their artists and just looks at this stuff. And they're like, do what they did, and then we'll just slap a license on it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I saw it with my one of the biggest, like, nobody really says anything, but I'll say it. My slime, my Dilophosaurus slime. Not too long ago, Universal for Fallen Kingdom came out with these flasks. They were like green slime, and the one that's black slime says villain slime. It's a black slime. Very weird that they came out with that. When all these years you never had Dilophosaurus slime, I started producing Dilophosaurus slime. It's sold very well, and look at that. Like, they came out with this kind of slime thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, you see it with other stuff too. Like, I'm not blatantly gonna say, but like, I'm just gonna. The Amber Fines logo.
Yeah.
I did see that. Yes.
Come on. Like, I've had people send me messages. I don't even care, man. Like, I'm on a different level set where I'm not really hit by any of those messages. Oh, they didn't copy you. They probably didn't, but I'm pretty sure one of their concept artists going through art trying to create this poster saw that logo pop up at some point and it's stuck in their head. Because, dude, it has almost the same cuts. It's weird. Very weird.
You also see like a lot of Popo pop up in Universal stuff too.
Yes. So many times you see the same the running Popo T-Rex.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one and the Raptor.
And if you compare the Brachiosaurus from Fallen Kingdom to the Popo Brachiosaurus, dude, come on. They didn't even look back. They didn't even look to the 93 Brachiosaurus. They were like, here's your references. These are, Jurassic Park references here. Watch the DVD. Yeah, sure, man. Internet, Google, Brachiosaurus. There you go. Done.
But I mean, and another one that I noticed was there's this poster or infographic or something like that came out for, I think it was Triceratops and Mamenchisaurus for Camp Cretaceous. And it was in Polish, but I think it was official. And the Triceratops uses, I can't remember what year it was, but it was recent, the Slice Triceratops. I mean, it's literally the Slice Triceratops in silhouette.
Yeah, you see it a lot. I feel like, I don't know who Universal is hiring for their artists, and I mean, I've heard it from other people say that, you shouldn't trash the artist, blah. I'm an artist myself. I can say whatever I want. So basically, yeah, dude, I'll say it.
Do it.
Basically, these artists are getting lazy, and they're just taking from other artists, and that's one thing that I use references, yes, but I use it to a point where, like, right now I was drawing like this person, so I need a reference for like the way I want this posture. So that's all I used. I used the posture, but the character itself is the character. So I just need the posture reference. That's it. But these artists are basically like superimposing these dinosaurs that are like action figures and stuff, just throwing them in there. But then I get it for concept art. That's fine because it's concept art. But then when they start to redefine it and trying to make it like the Allosaurus, tell me the Allosaurus doesn't look like the Allosaurus in Fallen Kingdom with the spikes on the back, and the one in Evolution, it looks like the Popo Allosaurus.
It does,
They couldn't really just think of their own. That's why I've said time and time again that the dinosaurs of Fallen Kingdom don't feel Jurassic. There's no Jurassic feel, because if you go back to 1993, these dinosaurs had a certain look and aesthetic to them that Fallen Kingdom does not. And Jurassic World 2 has lost that as well. Like the Triceratops has the similar Triceratops face from the original, but the body and the posture and just, I don't know what it is about the eyes, it doesn't resonate with me as a Triceratops. And you can give me the clone versions all you want, A, B, C, and D. No, it comes down to the artistry of who's doing the concept art. And whoever's doing the concept art is basically just taking from other artists and not giving them credit. You know what I mean? I honestly, I would love to see my good friend Jaroslav roll in there. And you guys know Jaroslav?
Yeah.
He's a beast. Dude, he's a beast. He did a lot of the concept art for the website for the damn, I'm forgetting the dino one. The
DPG.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, those guys. He did all their artwork. You know how you see like the backgrounds and when they were explaining the diseases and stuff like that. That's all Jaroslav. And he's an incredible artist. Like, why don't you hire him? Like this guy would be incredible for concept art, and he has that Jurassic feel when he draws the dinosaurs because he's so influenced from the original films. They need to get people like that. But you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just me talking out.
A lot of it was back then. I mean, some of those designs, I know you talked about original art and stuff, but some of those designs were lifted straight from Gregory S. Paul. I mean, you can clearly see them in the ILM designs especially.
Oh, they were, huh? Okay, well, then they've been stealing forever then. My bad. Just steal everything.
Unfortunately, like with my case with the Raptor T-shirt, there was like a collector. I got into it with Collect Jurassic about it, and I was just like, "Come on, man, you're a big name. Why are you defending art theft?" You know. And I remember like a bunch of my friends who are also big in art, who also not like big name artists in the fandom, but are really into art and do it as, I'm not sure if a living or a hobby, but they're like really into it, and they're like, yeah, this is, trust me, I know the difference between referencing and tracing. This was clearly a trace, you know.
Yeah, I see it all the time, dude. You know what I mean, you guys know I do art for a living. You know what I mean, I'm a tattoo artist, so I'm always like seeing, I just see like images where I'm like, wow, come on, that's this guy's work, you know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But can we really do anything about it? Honestly, no. You know what I mean? I've had my, you know, my spitter, the Dilophosaurus that I draw. That, you know what I mean? Like, I admit, and everybody knows this, I'm heavily influenced by Crash's work. Like, I am. Like, I love his work. But like, I've like studied the way he does texture so I can do my own dinosaurs. Because when I do like the original 6 dinosaurs like T-Rex, they look a lot like Crash's work. They do, because I love that look. But then I've done like a Styracosaurus. I've gone into Mamenchisaurus and all these other dinosaurs he never even drew. But like the way he does textures like influence how I do textures and how I draw like you know what I mean, you're always influenced by a certain artist, and he's one of my favorite artists, you know, of all time. Yeah. So like you'll see that influence in mine. But you know, like I had one of my like spitter shirts that like people were buying, and I saw it being sold on some Chinese website. They were selling them for like a lot more than mine. And is there anything I really can do about it? No, there isn't. Sadly, I can't. I've seen a lot of my work out there being sold by other people. It sucks. What can I do? Like, I can tell them, like, hey, stop that. But what? Nah, they're not gonna do anything. You know?
It's just this big circle of life. They create the IP, we create our own things from the IP, then they take our things back to put back into the IP.
It's hard being an artist in that way, because like you have to have your stuff public, and if you want to keep your work completely always private where nobody can steal it, in today's world you just can't do it. You know what I mean? You're at some point somebody's gonna steal your work. You can think all you want until you get to the level of like, I don't know what artists to say, but like that you have lawyers going after your stuff or whatever, you really can't do anything about it, you know?
I've caught Instagram accounts stealing my artwork before, or stealing my photos before, and they get like 10 times the like counts I get.
Dude,
you know?
Yeah, that's all the time. I see that with all. I'm always like one of like Jaroslav's work. I see his work stolen everywhere, and I'm always like tagging him like, "Hey man, just to let you know, your work is here." Like I'll tag him right there, and then I'll tell the person, "Can you just credit the artist, please?" And
I'll straight up tell him.
Some of them do.
Yeah, but I mean, and it sucks because they always act like it's such a freaking hassle to tag me. Like, come on, dude, you're using my photo, you were getting the likes. the least you can do is at least tag me. You know?
Yeah. Well, that was a tangent and a half.
Yeah, so I got a book.
Yeah, you got a book.
I got a book.
And we can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it. And then there's the merchandise. And I can personally...
Donald, this park was not built to cater only for the super rich. Everyone in the world has the right to enjoy these animals.
Sure, they will. I mean, what, we'll have a coupon day or something.
Yes.
Ready to get into some news. We've got a little bit here to talk about. David, you have been posting up some photos on Facebook, I see, from the JurassicVault.com. They've got some brand new 4K screenshots from The Lost World, our favourite film.
Yeah. This one's ran by a contributor for both Jurassic Outpost and Jurassicpedia. His name is Josh Evans, and him and his, I think, wife now, Jennifer. Yeah. They both run this website here where they post. It's kind of like Behind the Gates, but the image quality is far greater, and so they put up like all the leaked photos all the time. And just recently they put up a bunch of like 38 pages worth of the Lost World screen caps, and they're like every single one of them is all my favorite screen caps. I mean, I love this movie, so I mean, I love everything The Lost World, but it's like he got all the positions that I love. He's got everything in it, and I'm just fan geeky. I think I spent like 2 days just going through these and just swimming in the pictures.
Yeah, I know some of the photos you posted up, like the baby tied at the stake there in the creek. Just how much more details there when the colours sort of lightened a little bit and in that 4K. Oh
yeah, definitely. And that's another thing. This has convinced me to get the movies in 4K, just because the colors and the clarity is so wow. I mean, I'm blown away. It's like watching an entirely new film. The opening of it. I mean, you can see the beautiful aquamarine color of the ocean and the sun streaming through the trees. It's I thought Blu-ray was clear. This blows that out of the water.
Yeah, it's definitely on my Christmas list.
Yeah, I definitely put a 4K TV on my Christmas list. I will probably need a 4K player to go with my 4K movies, but hey, my birthday's right after Christmas, so
I'm not sure if I have the
double
4K. I don't know if I have it. I think I do. I think I actually got the 4K set. I just never opened because I'm like, I don't have a 4K TV, so I'll just leave it in the box. But damn, yeah, seeing those images, I saw those. I was like, wow, they look awesome.
Yeah, I did come across. I think it was High Def Disc News posted a couple screen caps from Jurassic Park that were 4K, and that looked amazing as well.
I think there was one shot there of I think it was the male attacking Eddie in the M class, and just the clarity, even with the rain falling, it's nearly at the point now where you nearly start seeing the seams in the animatronic, which is where we don't want to be. So let's not bring 8K out, because 8K you'll probably start seeing a lot more of that stuff.
I'm not sure if the CGI can even handle 8K. I mean, you'll start seeing the garbage mat and stuff.
Oh, I did notice that with the Parasaurolophus. So just it's like the vibrance or the sharpness went a little bit too far the other way. But it might have been just the photo too.
I mean, well, CGI. I mean, there's early CGI, and CGI in daylight is always the hardest thing to to fudge, you know.
Yeah, true. So JurassicVault.com, and they've got the Facebook page as well. You can go and check out that gallery they've got up there.
Wow. These images are incredible, legendary. Wow. Guys shoot their whole life, they never get stuff half this good.
Wow.
I mean, you can give me the Pulitzer right now, today, please.
Wow.
Competition's over, close the entries. I'd like to thank everybody who lost.
We mentioned it before. I don't know if it was Colin or just Universal dropped the Dominion teaser poster. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The Dominion little teaser there. No title on there. Just a heap of the characters or the actors that we know are coming in the film. A little bit of a bright note to distract us from the other sour note that we had, but it was about the same time with Fallen Kingdom, and we got the teaser post for that as well, with how far away the film was from being released, and we probably would have got a teaser trailer as well this November for it as well. I don't know if that's still going to happen or not, but that leads us straight into the sad news that Dominion's been pushed back to 2022. Obviously, the state of COVID in the world, still no movies in cinemas, and like what happened with Tenet are all pretty much reasons why Universal has said no, we're not releasing this next year.
Tenet didn't do that well, huh?
Yeah, I don't think it did.
No,
I don't think a lot of people are ready to go back to theaters yet.
Well, that was Nolan's fault. Nolan was like pushing to have that movie out when nobody can go in the theater. He's like, I want my movie in the theater. I'm like, dude, like no one's gonna go see it. It's gonna be you and like your family, and that's it. Like I knew it's probably. I don't know if it was good or not. I didn't see it, but it probably was one of his good movies. You know what I mean? But I would have waited. I would have been like, dude, just let it release when like. A good film like that should have been released when everybody can go back. But, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Jurassic Dominion being delayed isn't unexpected. It's still disappointing, but at the same time, I'd much rather them be able to see it in theater than to have them half-ass rush it and nobody's seeing it, you know?
And then we end up watching it on Prime Video.
Exactly, yeah.
I know. On my tiny TV.
Well, that's because they've already Fast 9 got pushed back to next year. I don't know if it's been pushed back as well yet. I'm pretty sure it would have been. Just these big blockbusters that are either being filmed or ready to go. I think the day before Bond got pushed back to 2020 as well, 2022 as well. So a lot of these big films are getting pushed back until, with the hope that COVID's going to be under control by then. But whether or not cinemas still exist then is going to be a whole different kettle of fish too. Like you're saying, Dave, I'm not going to go pay $50 to see this, buy this on Netflix or Prime or go and subscribe to Peacock just so I can watch Dominion on streaming service.
I'm also certainly not going to do what Disney tried to pull, where you already pay for the subscription and then you have to pay $30 to see Mulan. I'm like, I don't want to see it that bad.
Yeah, and they and a lot of people said it wasn't that great either.
Exactly, that too. And I didn't expect it to be. It just there was so much that they took away from the original, and it was so pointless to do so because they weren't even true to the story, to the legend in the first place. I mean, in the anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But you said before about rushing the release date for next year. Colin came out and said that in that first shutdown when COVID first hit, that they managed to get a lot of the CG work done, or started anyway. And there was that rumour that the first 5 minutes of the film had been done as well, just to meet that 2021 release date. But one thing I'm not understanding is everyone saying, well, this gives them more time to increase this, or make the CG better, make the story better. They're filming it. They're not changing the story now. We were hoping that this would give Jake Johnson a chance to get back in the film with the delay as well. Cause like his TV show's been cancelled now, so hopefully I'd give him a chance to get in. But
do you see him in any of the credits though? Like at all? Like I see all these other actors being mentioned, and then on the poster you don't see Jake Johnson at all on there, right?
No, I think it's still on IMDb. Still got his name there for Dominion, but I don't. Last we heard, him and Colin were trying to work something out to tie in with his shooting schedule, but yeah, I don't know. It might feel a bit forced if they just do some reshoots and get him in.
I don't know. Maybe you can like be like a phone call scene. Claire, I'm just randomly calling you. Hello. Are you and Owen doing okay?
So on the news, you got chased by dinosaurs again.
Yeah. Right. Why did they replace me with Franklin?
Is Franklin there? No.
Can you tell him to get out of the movie, please? Thanks. I don't know. I didn't really like his character.
I didn't mind his character, but I thought that Jake Johnson's could have been in that role.
Yeah.
You know?
Jake Johnson's character was the computer guy. You know what I mean? Like they got Franklin to be the computer guy in the second one. He was not really entertaining. I think the only time that I kind of smirked was when he was like talking about the T-Rex, and that was about it. Because I feel like I'd be asking about the T-Rex, but not in a fearful way. I'd be asking, where is it? I want to see it. He was just like, oh, I'm so scared. But like, and especially that scene where like the Baryonyx comes out and he screams, and I was like, what? I was like, no. I was like, why didn't they get Jake Johnson in here? Like, he
I
would
will
have
say I
been
like Justice a lot better in Detective Pikachu.
Yo, he was awesome in that movie, and he was pretty good in what was that other that Netflix show about like hip hop in like the 80s or late 70s? I forgot what it's called.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It showed like the beginnings of like the hip hop era or whatever. That was great. But that I don't know. In that movie, hit and a miss.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, because Universal's, I think the budget's up over the 200,000 mark for Dominion already. I know they gave them a bit more money for all the COVID safety stuff so they could keep filming, but I don't see them spending millions more on CG when they might not get a return on investment.
Yeah, they're gonna
like,
try to
like
play. They're gonna try to play
thing,
it safe.
Yeah, this thing's going to be done, put in a can, and just put on the shelf until they can release it. Like some of their other films, it's written, it's filmed. They're not going to be able to improve the script or anything like that.
I think where they're going to hit hard, like real hard, is the merchandising campaign, because that is something they can make good money on. I think they're going to like their merchandising campaign for this last movie is going to be crazy, and I think it's going to be on the levels of where. Like, they tried with Fallen Kingdom, but it was a hit and a miss with Fallen Kingdom. They had a lot going on, but the movie was just not. It didn't hit where they wanted. But this one, having the big three back, you know they're gonna go crazy with that. It's gonna be. I think they're gonna have a mix. If they would be smart, I think they would have a mix of like calling back to the original Jurassic, and then having the like show you what's going on now, kind of like have the original big three and then back in their Jurassic days and then have them what they look like now in the movie. Kind of do something like that, because it'll bring fans like us that know the movie from the beginning, from like the very first one, the older fans, and it'll have us going like, oh, well, they got the big three again, which they got me. I admit it. When they said the big three are coming, I'm like, oh yes, you know what I mean. Whether the movie won't be great, it'd be so great to see them again on screen, you know?
I'll admit, though, I mean, kids these days, they still love the originals, too. I do. I have my little cousin over all the time over the summer, and literally every time I have him over, he wants to watch Jurassic Park. One of the movies. He doesn't care which one, any of them, you know?
That's good.
He's not a little kid either. I mean, I think he just turned 11, so, I mean, he's like your average age child, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good they know about it. I mean, a lot of them didn't before. Yeah.
It is just a delay. That's all it is. All major theme parks have delays. When they opened Disneyland in 1956... nothing worked.
Yeah, but John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
Well, that's it. And one thing they should know about is Camp Cretaceous, which is definitely aimed at the kiddies. We had the trailer, or teaser trailer for Season 2 is coming out this month, showing some more of the animals not seen in Season 1. that we knew from marketing the Ceratosaurus, the Baryonyx, all the triplets. I think there's 3 of them. Jay, what do you think of the first season?
I honestly, to tell you the truth, dude, I absolutely loved it. I did.
Me too.
It gave me that. Let's put it this way. It was, if they didn't have Fallen Kingdom, I'd be completely satisfied with them having Camp Cretaceous as like that filler between Dominion, because it felt Jurassic to me. It actually had the Jurassic element that Fallen Kingdom lacked. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like it was treading on the same grounds. Like sometimes they kind of regurgitate the same thing again and again. It had like these nuances to it, but still had that old feel of dinosaurs, especially like the character Darius. That's like, it's all of us. He's
I said the exact same thing. Darius is all of us.
Because if we were